Hi Virgo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. I'm so glad that you found me. Thank you for being here. This is your June full moon oracle card reading where I'm going to pull a card from the Illuminated Tarot deck. This is a new deck to me. The artist, Caitlin Keegan, condensed the major arcana down into the minor arcana, and this is actually a deck that you can use for playing cards as well, but I've written on it and made it my own, so I'm going to pull a card from there to give you a theme of what the full moon may be bringing for you. I'm going to pull a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. That deck is by Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison. And finally, I'm going to pull a Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card for you. But before I do that, let's talk a little bit about this full moon. So we're going to have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 8th or 9th of June, depending on where you live on the planet. Saturn is transiting through Sagittarius as well, so the moon is going to be playing with Saturn pretty well in the sign of Sagittarius. For you, this is the 4th house. So Saturn, quickly, is the planet that represents limitation, structure, and containment. I also think of Saturn as the building code inspector. We have 12 houses on our astrological wheel, and Saturn makes a transit through each one of those houses, about a 2.5-year stay, going forwards and backwards, reinforcing those lessons in each one of those houses. So if the house that he's transiting through is weak, has not been built to code, he's going to test it. You may have to demolish it and rebuild it, and that's not always fun, but that's what Saturn is. Saturn's also known as the Lord of Time. He makes you really honor the time and the body and the space that you are in right here and right now. The 4th house is the house that's traditionally ruled by Cancer, and it's the house of home and family, or roots and foundations. Virgo, I would say that around the full moon you may want to make sure that there is no leaking, flooding, any sort of water coming into the home structure-wise, because full moons deal with a lot of water energy. The moons rule the tides, but Saturn dealing with structure, limitation, and containment in the 4th house of home and family makes me really concerned for either there's going to be a lot of emotions around this full moon, dealing with a family member, or dealing with your home, the contents of your home, or your roots and past foundations as well. So just be careful with that. Another thing, Jupiter will be going direct in Libra in the 2nd house for you. Jupiter, I'd like to think of as like a hot air balloon. Wherever Jupiter goes, it gets bigger. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system that we know of right now, and it's a gas giant. So wherever it goes, it makes it bigger. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, increase, excess, and achievement. In your 2nd house, this is a house of your money, earning ability, self-esteem, your possessions, the things that you care about and that you want close to you, the things that you could look at and say, these are mine, or introduce, this is mine, would probably qualify as a 2nd house item as well. Jupiter going direct in the 2nd house is really nice because it could be that you are experiencing an increase somehow of money or of self-esteem or of increasing your earning ability, those types of things. Jupiter always makes it bigger. But also understand, if Jupiter comes into that 2nd house and it's not so great energy and you are dealing with a period of lack, it could make that bigger as well. Jupiter is generally seen as a benefic planet, but I do feel like I need to empower you with both sides of the story on it. So, I said that this full moon is going to be in Sagittarius. It's going to be at almost 19 degrees of Sagittarius. And the Sabian symbol that reads for this is, pelicans menaced by the behavior of men seek safer areas to bring up their young. Sabian symbols were created in 1925 by a clairvoyant named Elsie Wheeler, and they're used to symbolize 0 to 30 degrees of each zodiac sign on the astrological wheel. One last thing of note, Virgo. We are also, this full moon, the June full moon, is also known as the strawberry full moon. Let me put it like that. I am shooting this video on May 31st, and what's interesting is this is for June. Okay, this video is for June. I'm shooting this on the 31st, and today there was a tropical low that formed in the Gulf of Mexico right at the landmass that separates the Atlantic and, well, the Atlantic / Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific. So, yeah. The pelicans being menaced. There could be some serious flooding in Louisiana. I'm concerned for Louisiana, especially with the Sabian symbol popping up the way that it is. Lots of things have me pretty nervous for Louisiana right now, but I won't get into that because this isn't about them. This is about you, Virgo. I am shuffling for you from the Illuminated Tarot deck, once again by Caitlin Keegan. I really like the energy of this deck. I'm going to start using it. Probably not for my main month. I may use it for these full moon videos. I'm going to cut for you. Here is your Illuminated Tarot card, Virgo. Now I'm going to shuffle for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. You had a card jump out of my hands, so we're going to use that as your Oracle card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. And finally, the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck. I'm shuffling for you now, Virgo. You're going to have a lot of energy focus on your 11th house as well. The placements for this video are for the Virgo risings out there. It may apply to some of you Virgo suns. It really just depends on what's going on in your personal chart, though. But the 11th house is the house that's ruled by Aquarius. It deals with your friends, memberships, groups, teams, associations that you may belong to. It's also the house of the internet, and it's the house of your future wishes, goals, and dreams, your bucket list. Okay. There we go, Virgo. What I'm going to do now is hit the pause button, flip these cards over, meditate, and look at my astrological notes and bring forth the best message that I can for you. So hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hi, Virgo. I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. The card that I've pulled from the Illuminated Tarot deck is the Empress equivalent. This is the Queen of Hearts. She deals with fertility and being responsible with your resources. Also, having a responsibility to nature, feeling a need to steward over the resources that have been given to you. The Empress is representative of the planet Venus, which is symbolic of love, beauty, harmony, money, and resources. What's interesting is Venus went retrograde this year. Venus went retrograde in Aries, and she tiptoed back into Pisces. And while that doesn't sound like it affected you, you have that in your chart. We have a little bit of each of the zodiac in us, even if there are no strong planetary aspects. But that's a whole nother video. Venus went retrograde in your 8th and 7th houses. So quickly, the 8th house is life, death, and rebirth, other people's money, sexuality, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis. It's also the house of instincts. It can be your primal, basic, or human instincts. The 7th house deals with your partnerships, relationships, and how you identify who you are as an individual with those interactions with those other people in your world. It's also the house of counseling and open enemies. The 8th house is traditionally ruled by Scorpio. The 7th house is traditionally ruled by Libra. Now, so we had Venus go retrograde in Aries. The Empress card being reflective of Venus. Venus rules 2 different zodiac signs. She rules Taurus and she rules Libra. So, you may have been dealing with somebody with any of those zodiac affiliations. You may just be dealing with the ideas of love, abundance, fertility. This Queen of Hearts deals with your love and your values. Now, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck, the Empress is the 3rd card in the Major Arcana, and that's the House of Gemini. Short distance trips, siblings, cousins, neighbors, it's like the people in your neighborhood. It's your communication and technological devices that get your messages and messaging out into the world. It's also your commute, your daily commute. The vehicle that you use and the road or pathway that you take as well. So all of these things may have come to light for you in this full moon light in one way or another, or that like this may just be the theme surrounding the full moon for you as well. Could be that you're really wanting to focus your money and your values on your home and your family as well, or that you are realizing that you want more home and family time if you are away. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, that Empress, like I said, reflective of Venus, love, beauty, harmony, money, and resources. We had that Venus retrograde in Aries. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And I talked about the Empress card being the third card in the Major Arcana. Okay. The second card that I pulled for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck is the number 8 card of this deck, Hello Synchronicity. There may be a Scorpio that's really prevalent to you, or someone that you are digging that has some serious Scorpionic energy because of the 8s that seem to be coming up in the astrology and in the numerology in the cards for you. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Pardon me, y'all. My lungs are weak. This is the 8th card. That 8th house of Scorpio, life, death, and rebirth, other people's money. Could really be focusing on other people's finances. Your partner. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. It could be the person that you're in partnership in business with, or just someone that you are sharing resources or finances with. It may be that you need to have a keen eye about the situation. I want you to look up owl symbolism. It can be spirit totem or just spirit animal symbology. However it really resonates to you, because there may be resonant messages for you there. Whenever I see the owl, I instinctively think of wisdom and also getting an above head perspective, a meta perspective, if you will. This card indicates that you are capable of seeing the truth as it is in a situation, person, or circumstance. You are able to outsmart old cycles. You see them coming now. Or you should be able to start seeing them come now. If you have been following videos like this, then you do understand and notice the cycles of life. By being capable of seeing the truth, you're also able to recognize toxic relationships and try to repair them if need be, or remove yourself from them if need be. You're being asked once again to see this situation, this person, or this circumstance with a new, fresh set of eyes, possibly from a meta perspective, maybe an objective perspective as well. This card also indicates that a message or messenger could be coming your way soon. It might be through the internet, because you do have a lot of 11th house energy going on. If that's not the case, you are going to be dealing with a lot of communication in your friendship sector. Might be online messaging, though. Some of you are going to see this lesson as a blessing, and others of you are going to have to repeat the cycle until you learn from it. It just depends on how you approach the situation. Once again, we've had some serious stuff go on in the 8th house. We had Venus going retrograde. I talked a lot about that with the last card. Another planetary energy that I didn't mention but is appropriate as well is Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, changes, liberation, and rebellion, has been moving through your 8th house. So there has been definite shocks to your the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. There was, in my fiance has a Virgo moon, and he just recently told me about a situation where one of his uncles has just recently been found by his daughter that he didn't know that he had. He fathered this child when he was like 15 years old. Shocks and surprises, life, death, and rebirth, right? This man is in his late 60s, I believe, and I don't know. It's just an interesting situation, right? Shocks and surprises, changing and liberation in your sexuality and in your instincts as well. Probably as well dealing with other people's money. I feel like your partner's money is a big focus to you for some reason under this full moon, or your partner in general. It doesn't have to be their money, because if you're thinking about sexuality, then you usually have a partner involved. but the 8th house does involve shared resources, so that's why I'm bringing that up so much. This card indicates that this is a powerful time for you, and I am reminding you to remember to be the hunter and not the hunted in the situations that you find yourself in. Make sure not to be so readily available for those who have not necessarily been readily available for you. I've been reading a lot of, because I know astrology and I follow it, and I understand the transits and the energy that's playing out. I can see how that energy is affecting people in my Facebook world. And there's a lot of people dealing with one-sided friendships, one-sided relationships, and it looks like this is a big theme for a lot of Virgos as well, where you're reassessing this, or have been at least throughout the early spring months, but now you've tied up those loose ends, and hopefully you're making changes for the better. So, from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card deck, pardon me for coughing again, I pulled for you the Selenite card, Selenite card, It deals with happiness, clarity, and peace. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the crown chakra. The card reads, Selenite is the greatest stone of happiness. It brings you clear vision, clairvoyance, and peace. It connects you to the consciousness of your higher self. You have pulled this card because you need a dose of joy and a reminder to see the greater good in all beings. So meditate with Selenite to surround yourself with white light, tranquility, and high vibrations. Clarity, huh? Being able to see in the night, you got to have some pretty clear vision. Just saying, y'all. The full moon's going to illuminate something, and it's probably going to be a little emotional for you, and it may involve a partner. It may involve your resources and their resources. It may just involve your relationship in general. I hope that this June full moon brings you nothing but wonderful things, though. I'm sending you a lot of love, because this is what I've got for you, Virgo, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I've got a surprise for you, but I'm going to announce it in a separate video at the end of this video series, and I'm going to try to get it finished and uploaded today. So fingers crossed. Please take care of yourself, Virgo, and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I hope June is wonderful for you. I'm sending you a lot of love. Again, take care of yourself, and until next time, namaste, bye, and I love you, Virgo.